Good morning, children. Today, let us continue with the chapter Reproduction in Organisms, and this is for class 12 bio students. Here we will be discussing various methods of asexual reproduction. So, in the previous video, we discussed what is of asexual method of asexual reproduction. It is a reproduction in which no fusion of gametes and only one parent is involved, so the offspring produced are genetically and morphologically identical to the parent. Now let us understand various methods by which asexual reproduction takes place. Some of the methods are, one method is of fission, especially of binary fission, and this binary fission we can see in organisms coming under protist, monerians, etc. Examples are of amoeba, paramecium, etc. So here in this binary fission, basically fission means splitting. So a cell splits or divides into two and then into two, like that. Here in amoeba, a single cell, from there two cells are produced, from the two cell again two cells are produced, like that this process continues. So here naturally there is no death, it takes place, and hence these organisms are also said to be immortal. There is no natural death. From a cell, two cells, from the two cell again two cells, the process continues. That is why it is known as immortal. Then another one mode of asexual reproduction is of budding. And this budding we can see in yeast and hydra. Yeast is a unicellular fungus, and here a small bud is produced in the outside of the body of cell, and that one detaches and develops into a new cell. Hydra also, a small bud is produced, and after that it detaches and produces a new individual. In both these cases, a bud is formed outside the body of organism, and hence this is also known as exogenous budding. Another one method of reproduction, asexual reproduction, is by gemmules. Gemmules you can see in sponge, example spongilla. It is a freshwater sponge where buds are produced inside the body and it is released out. When it is attached with a substratum, it develops into a new individual, and here the bud is produced inside. Next method is of spore formation. Spore formation is of two types, namely zoospore formation. That one we can see in alga, example Chlamydomonas, and Conidia, example Penicillium. So in algae the spores are produced. Chlamydomonas inside number of spores, they are known as zoospores, and it is released out and each one develops into a new individual. In Penicillium, conidia are produced in the form of chain. These are the spores, and it is get detached and develop into a new fungal plant. Another one method of asexual reproduction is of fragmentation. For example, Spirogyra, it is an example of filamentous alga, and these filaments are broken, or it is formed into fragments, and from each fragment develops, or that one develops into a new algal plant. Example Spirogyra. Now we are going to next type of asexual reproduction, that is in higher group of plants. It is normally known as vegetative propagation. Then let us understand what are the structures which produce new plants. Let us see. In higher group of plants, the term asexual reproduction is frequently used as vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. So here from the vegetative part of the plant body, certain structures are produced. These structures can develop into a new plant. For example, in potatoes, buds are produced, and these buds are known as eyes. These buds can produce new plant. Another example is of rhizome. This is known as the rhizome and rhizome of ginger. There the nodal region buds are produced, and these buds can develop into a new plant. Then bulbils of agave also produce new plant, vegetative part, this bulbil, from there a new plant can be produced. Then this is the leaf of bryophyllum. So here you can see the notches at the margin, some depressions are there, that depressions are known as the notches. From there adventitious buds are produced. These adventitious buds can develop into a new plant. This is also a vegetative part of the plant body. Then water hyacinth. In water hyacinth, the vegetative part is known as offset. Offset can develop into a new plant. So these all structures, the buds or eyes, rhizome, bulbil, then leaf buds, offset, etc. are known as propagules, vegetative propagules. And through the vegetative propagules or vegetative part, a new plant can be developed. And this mode of reproduction in plant, it is also an asexual mode of reproduction, but usually we call it as vegetative propagation. So once again we can conclude the vegetative propagules. Which are the vegetative propagules? Buds or eyes, it is also known as in potato. Rhizome we can see in ginger, banana, turmeric, etc. Then offset in water hyacinth, bulbils in agave, leaf buds in bryophyllum. All these structures, buds, rhizome, offset, bulbils, leaf buds, etc. are known as vegetative propagules, through which new plant can be developed. And this method of reproduction in plant is known as vegetative propagation. Next to this, we will be learning about sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction, let us continue with another one video. Okay.